Dear Bud Light, dear CMT, we were happy as can be till you caved and bent the knee. Good luck coming back from that. Just tell us, what were you thinking? Fucking with the
Stream
can we
elements.
were drinking.
Said Claus TCB Miiverse is now live. Streaming Pokemon Scarlet/Violet. Pal DUNCEIA. Advanced on Twitch. Whisper. Said. Live online under the category Pokemon Scarlet/Violet. The uptime begins.
Should've known it by now. Fuck around and find out you joke. Go broke. Fuck Ford, fuck Adidas, fuck Netflix too. Fuck Starbucks, Barbie, Whoopi in the View. Fuck Biden, Kamala, AOC. Fuck Snuffleupagus, is down on Sesame Street. Can't take it no more. Give me Trump 22-4. Sleepy Joe, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Fuck Bud Light, fuck CMT. Yeah, fuck Target and fuck Disney. These hypocritical woke liberals know they're never gonna learn. It seems they're calling me stupid, calling me dumb, driving this song to #1. Should've known it by now. Fuck around and find out you joke. Go broke. Fuck 'em all. Well, fuck Bud Light, fuck CMT. The silent majority will tell you with their wallet. We didn't beat up Jussie Smollett. Fuck Bud Light, fuck CMT. Yeah, fuck Target and fuck Disney. Damn, all these miserable fucking liberals know they're never gonna learn. It seems they're calling me stupid, calling me dumb, driving this song to #1. Should've known it by now. Fuck around and find out you joke. Go broke. Fuck 'em all. Go broke. Fuck 'em all.
Yo, what's up? What is up? How's it going? Okay. He's still at it. He is still at it. And are we really surprised at this point? I mean, fuck me, man. Okay, before I actually get into it, a little something I gotta get out there right quick, right? I've been cursed with bad genetics. Right? I just absolutely cursed. And despite, taking proper care of my mouth and all that, and keeping up with the hygienics. Don't ask why I said it like that. Hygienics. That was pretty cringe, I'm not gonna lie. That was truly cringe-worthy. Why does it sound like Pig's a cat? Anyway, I've been cursed with bad genetics. And I'm long overdue for a dental visit. You're supposed to have one annually. But I've been behind on my dental checks. Because you want to be absolutely sure, right? Anyway, no matter how well I take care of my mouth, it let's just say, degrades faster than your average person. So I'm overdue for a procedure that is going to put me out of commission for a while. I'm not going to actually be able to speak until recovery. But after all that's said and done and my recovery process goes through, are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ, these fucking bots, go the fuck away! Tired of streaming on Zero. Fuck off, bots. Seriously, fuck off. Ugh. Fuck me. Alright, once my recovery process has actually completed, I'll be back up in action in no time at all. At all. Well, I can't exactly say in no time, but once my recovery process concludes, I'll be right back in action. But I really have to stress this point. I've ranted about him before. Numerous times, in fact. A few times I kept him anonymous because I was hoping he would get the message, but frankly, he has shown himself to be a lost cause. This person, Otterly Noah, where he's made this video. And I find it ironic how he says these people are lying. I'll get to that in a second. He's still calling people grifters. He's still using critics in air quotes. And notice what he has in his thumbnail. Matt Walsh. Walsh is how you say it, but I say Wash. The reason I say that is because he's gone on a tangent saying how adults shouldn't be watching cartoons and all that. And he's made a video trying to say that the Disney villains were right. This is the guy you want to use as a weapon to attack the anti-woke kings and queens? Are you serious right now? In addition to that, they're the ones lying! Yeah, again, we'll get to that in a moment. But you want to claim that Matt Walsh is the one of the anti-woke kings and queens? And notice the video length, 40 minutes. He spends 40 minutes whining about anti-woke criticism. Oh, but it's okay, guys. He's not it's not anti-woke is what he's looking at. And thankfully, it's not anti-woke. How to tell me you're a cult member without telling me you're a cult member. Frankly, this is a punch to the gut, frankly. I used to look up to you as someone who wanted to spread a positive message about autism, right? Ignoring the people who are suffering Munchausen syndrome. You were one of the many who were trying to spread positivity about autism. I respected that deeply. But until you pulled this crap, my respect for you waned over time. And now it's just dropped completely. Fuck, I stopped promoting on your server for a reason. It's because of this. Now, I'm not saying you have to agree with the criticism. But dude, stop with the bad faith attacks against these people. And let me just say this again. What they're saying is real criticism by definition. Of course, as a great man once said,
everything woke. Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit, okay? It's true. It's true. Look at what's happened.
Yeah, everything woke turns to shit. And the dude's right! And let's bring up that screen cap again. Not just Matt Walsh, but he constantly throws Critical Drinker under the bus. Because... And this is a dude that has over 2 million subscribers. Clearly, the dude is doing something right. And since you want to keep attacking him and throwing him under the bus, I'm going to play one of his videos for you. Yeah, I'm going to remove that for a second. Oops, sorry about that. This video is titled Disney's Self-Inflicted Boy Trouble. Yes, it's in quotations, but... Oops, hang on. Yes, it's in quotations, but... Let's be honest. Noah, if Gen Z men being absent isn't the problem, why would they beg for them to come back? You and I both know that Marvel, their core demographic is men. Men and boys, let me say that differently, right? Men and boys. Tossing out girl boss characters, which nobody likes. Emasculating the male characters, constantly attacking them, telling them they're not needed. All this kind of shit. They decide to nope out of there, and you wonder why they're crashing. Oh, but wait, that's not the problem. Let's let Critical Drinker explain this. Thankfully, it's a 10-minute video before I have to get to the game.
Every once in a while, I'll stumble on a news article so brain-meltingly, soul-crushingly stupid that the only socially acceptable response is...
Actually, hang on. Let me link this. Let me link this to y'all, so you can watch this for yourself. I don't want to be a market replacement. After all,
said https://udo.be/iq@gbxfnhum?si=sign doc jr3qkh.
Okay, I don't want to have speech chat repeat the same link twice, so let's do that real quick. I don't want to be a market replacement, so there's a link. Show this guy some love. Granted, 2.36 million subscribers really says volumes about how great this guy is. But, seriously, go to the video, leave a like, comment on the video, and let's be an engaged viewer, shall we?
Such was the case yesterday with this absolute...
That's... That's an excellent way to describe it! Oh my god, look at what I'm laughing at. What am I, 4?
Corker from Variety, that always reliable bastion of respectable, impartial journalism. Disney's Boy Trouble. Studio seeks original IP to win back Gen Z men amid Marvel Lucasfilm struggles.
You had my curiosity.
Hang on. Let's go back a second. Let's go back. Yeah. Disney's Boy Trouble. Studio seeks original IP to win back Gen Z men amid Marvel Lucasfilm struggles. Tell me again how the lack of Gen Z men isn't the problem, Noah. I'll be waiting for your mental gymnastics, or you're sweeping that away, backhanding that away, pretending it doesn't exist. It's going to be the latter, let's be honest.
And amid Marvel, Lucasfilm struggles.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Leadership at Walt Disney Studios has been pressing Hollywood creatives in recent months, multiple sources tell Variety, for movies that will bring young men back to the brand in a meaningful way.
Are you serious?
Oh, really? Tell me, why would you have to do something like that? I mean, you've spent years telling us that men are irrelevant now, that nobody needs or wants those mean, stinky boys polluting culture.
And this is why men abandoned the brand. This is why men abandoned your network. Walked away in droves. Honestly, it's why I left Disney. And I grew up with them. I grew up with Disney movies when they were actually good. Until they decided to shit on men and tell them they're unnecessary. I wasn't going to have that, and I wasn't going to support any company that does that. Shit on your target demographic, they leave. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, as the saying goes. So, Disney, if you want us back, you're going to have to pump out something tremendously good. And stop shitting on us in the process.
Culture with their toxic masculinity, that male and pale is stale, that the
And we still see the toxic masculinity narrative these days. I mean, fuck, if woke 007 was anything to go by, emasculating James Bond because of toxic masculinity. And you want to tell us that's not woke? Oh, and by the way, since you want to toss out M being a code name, guess what? Moneypenny was never a field agent. She was a secretary. An attractive secretary at that. But let's get back to this.
future is female. Why do you care about attracting men to your brand all of a sudden?
Bomb after bomb after bomb. Let's go back a second. Captain Not America. Yeah, I actually went to see that, and I was disappointed beyond belief. This one I didn't see, thank God. I wasn't about to waste my money or my time watching Thunderbolts, and let's be real. I was let down by Captain Not America. Why would I waste my money on this? Oh my god, this I actually went to see, and it was the biggest waste of my time ever. Fantastic Four? Come on. More like the Mundane Four. Yeah, it was that bad. Like, the only thing I even remotely enjoyed was the design for Galactus. I hated what they did to Silver Surfer. Absolutely hated it.
Fuck.
And therein lies the rub, dear viewer. You might utterly despise men and everything they represent, but when it comes to that increasingly uncomfortable meeting with the accountants every few months, well, it turns out that you kind of need them. Especially young men, who seem to be quite a powerful demographic these days. Let's see what else this...
Especially when it comes to Marvel. You know, the demographic that kept your brand afloat.
Stunning and brave article has to say, shall we? Numerous studies show that Gen Z men in particular are a lonely, gaming-obsessed group who were hampered in their formative years by COVID-19 lockdowns.
I love this right here. First, every film studio is looking for better ways to convert young audiences into habitual moviegoers. Numerous studies show that Gen Z men in particular are a lonely, gaming-obsessed group. Of course, they had to throw gaming under the bus. Who are hampered in their formative years due to the government pandemic lockdowns. So many people weren't even allowed to leave their homes. I mean, fuck, during the time period, there have been people who were arrested just for going to the fucking beach. The lockdowns were absolutely insane. And under the fascistic boot of the government, not even being allowed to go on the fucking beach because you're killing grandma. That time period fucked over a lot of us. Made us way more antisocial than anything else. So in an effort to keep our sanity, what we did was tune to streaming services. Admittedly, I watched a bit more Netflix than usual during that time period. But I also had my video games to keep me company, so there was that. But besides that, our day-to-day lives were fucked. And we did what we had to do to keep even a semblance of sanity.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there before this journalistic retardation goes any further. Let's be clear about one thing. Young men were not hampered in their formative years by the lockdowns, or the patriarchy, or global warming, or social injustice, or any of the other bullshit excuses you're gonna try to throw in to obfuscate the truth. They were hampered by an entertainment media complex that spent most of the past decade systematically trying to...
Yeah, that too.
Viewers, +1. Alarm clock 22 minutes and 6 seconds.
Although, if we're being honest, that's what did most of the damage. Besides the fascistic government trying to force us in our homes. But anyway, 24/7.
Obliterate them from modern culture. They've been berated, insulted, deconstructed, mocked, lectured, misrepresented, gaslit into believing their every natural instinct was wrong and evil, and simultaneously labelled as useless and irrelevant, but also somehow the cause of every negative thing that ever happens in the world, depending on which explanation is most expedient.
I'm so fucking tired.
And depending on whatever handy excuse they have at the time to be as misandric and discriminatory as possible. I mean, fuck, back in 2015, you remember the whole, all men are rapists spiel? I remember that all too well. I couldn't forget it, even if I tried. That was a total fucking mess and a half, let me tell you. But no, the lack of men weren't the problem. Shut the fuck up, dude.
I thought I just needed a night's sleep, but it's more than that.
And every single time they've dared to defend themselves or push back in this completely one-sided war, they've been dismissed as sexist, misogynistic idiots and bullied or attacked into silence. Is it really that much of a surprise that after all of this, after realizing the deck is so hopelessly stacked against them that not only can they never be allowed to win, but they'll be actively punished for even trying in the first place, they've...
Hence calling the anti-woke grifters, because that clearly is a meaningful rebuttal. Remind me which side is the real grifters? Be honest. No, I mean, actually be honest. This is what I hate about the woke and the woke cult. Everything is in-group, out-group. Even when the out-group agrees with the in-group, they're still the bad guys, they're still wrong, because they're in the out-group. And you wonder why I call you people a cult. Not you viewers, but the woke. Is it any wonder why I oppose the woke cult? I mean, fuck, even in my channel trailer, I make it perfectly clear. I oppose all things woke and politically correct, even though it's playing semantics. Wokeness is just repackaged political correctness, which is just repackaged communism. It's the same problem, different packaging. At the end of the day. And that's just the political side, mind you. There's cultural degradation like this. It makes it harder to fight back against the oppressive government that want to conquer and strip away our rights. It's to keep us divided. That's the biggest reason why I can't stand the woke cult. It irritates me to my fucking core. And especially those who defend it, I use defend loosely, by relentlessly attacking the anti-woke cult in a desperate bid to shut them up. Sickening, man.
Finally decided, fuck it, I'm just not playing anymore. And they hit back with the most powerful weapon left in their arsenal, their wallets. If companies like Disney decide to use their platform to beat young...
That's the biggest thing that you can do. Vote with your wallet. Anything woke, just don't spend money on it. Don't even waste your time on it. Even in the face of woke products, I would still argue not to steal. Just don't even waste even a second of your time on it. Although, let's be honest, I'm not going to fight back nearly as hard if you decide to pirate woke IPs or products or what have you. I still have a principled stance against piracy, but I'm not going to feel bad when it happens to the woke cult. You're just going to get a fuck you from me.
Young men over the head with the message that everything male is inherently bad, then I guess young men just won't watch their stuff anymore. It's not exactly rocket science, but holy fuck. This article and others like it will explore every possible explanation except the simplest and most obvious one. And
Oh, and on topic of Star Whores, as I call it, yes, Star Whores. I got no respect for a Star Wars brand to say Star Wars, so Star Whores it is. If you don't like it, kiss my ass. I stopped watching Star Whores as of episode 8. I was so pissed, so angry with that movie. Like, fuck it. I'm dropping the brand altogether until they reverse course on this, and to this day they still haven't. Granted, they've had a few good episodes with The Mandalorian, but after what they did to Gina Carano, I'm like, fuck it, I'm out completely. Not to mention the blatant disrespect towards Luke Skywalker's fucking lightsaber. I mean, in that movie, just throw it away. Just literally throw it behind his back. Like, he doesn't care. That's the biggest disservice to Luke Skywalker in the entire franchise. And I see some disrespect in Star Wars. But that is the biggest slap in the fucking face to Luke.
I think we know why. It actually kind of reminds me of all those articles cropping up on...
Like, right here. Furthering the point. Men, where have you gone? Please come back. Do I need to say it again?
Feminist websites these days decrying the lack of male attention after those very same sites spent years complaining about men being too forward, too assertive, too interested, too creepy, and gosh darn it, why can't they just leave us all alone? Gee, I wonder why they're not interested in dating anymore.
Adding to that, they were called creeps, rapists, serial stalkers, you name it. Just for flirting or even saying hi. It's still too much of a minefield that you motherfuckers have created. And you're wondering where men has gone.
It's a total mystery to me too, ladies. The irony is that Disney already had access to some of the biggest and most successful male-focused brands in history. And yes, both Star Wars and Marvel were decidedly male brands.
Yeah, this is basically what I was saying earlier. The core demographic were men. And since you chased them away, you're failing.
That doesn't mean the ladies couldn't enjoy them too, and many did in fact, but if I had to choose a gender most likely to gravitate towards a franchise about space battles, adventure, ships, technology, heroism, and epic struggles for the fate of the universe, yeah, it's gonna be men. And that right there is perfectly okay. Men are allowed to have stuff that they like, and a lot of the time, that stuff is going to be quite different from what women like.
And it's more than okay to have men be the target demographic. It's more than okay to target something towards men. Especially heterosexuals. That doesn't mean no one else can. That's like the critical drinker here said. Just because it's targeted towards men doesn't mean other people can't like it. I mean, fuck me running. Even Snarky J used to like Star Wars. I'm just saying, she's a woman who likes Star Wars. And there's a specific reason for that. The reason Disney themselves wanted to shy away from, which is a crying shame. I mean, fuck. Even though the Disney princesses back in the day were geared towards girls, I used to love Princess Jasmine just because of how much of a badass she was. I had a lot of respect for her up until there was one moment that fucking ruined her for me. I won't be silenced, which just comes off as pandery virtue signaling than anything else. Those who are familiar with the original Aladdin, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but for whatever reason you may not be, Jasmine had absolutely no trouble speaking out and speaking to power. Like, when she flat out told her father, I am not a prize to be won. That stuck with me! Especially in a regional scenario where selling your daughter, marrying your daughter off is a common thing, which is a scummy practice, by the by. So the fact that Jasmine flat out rejected and took a stand against being married off, that really stuck with me. That was the standout moment that made me love Princess Jasmine. And I'm a guy watching the Disney Princess. It made me root for Jasmine directly. And Aladdin too. He was pretty cool.
The problem is that only one side is ever expected to compromise and make concessions to accommodate the other, and I'll give you a
yeah. The double standard about that too is a problem.
little hint here. It's not women. Like, could you imagine for 1 second if they did a reboot of Sex and the City? Sorry, wait, another reboot. Only this time half the female characters were gender swapped, the glamour and sophistication of the New York social scene was replaced with muscle cars and guns and girls in bikinis, and every episode had to include some tedious subtext about how difficult modern life is for men to navigate. I don't think it would go down very well.
Yeah, that... let me go back just a second. Yeah, that would have been the reaction. That would have been the reaction exactly. Like what you're seeing here on the screen. Because heaven forbid men have any positive representation now. I don't know why I said representation, because frankly, nowadays, representation is just a Trojan horse. I'll get into that later.
well. But there seems to be this weird cultural taboo around the idea of male-focused anything now, like catering specifically to men as a demographic is some moral crime that has to be addressed and corrected, instead of a smart and logical business decision from a company that should be all about giving the customer what they want. In the case...
I'm not gonna lie, the Sydney Sweeney ad is... It honestly made me want to buy from American Eagle. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They really nailed it with that. And the fact that they are unapologetic about it really makes me respect American Eagle that much more.
Of those male-oriented franchise that used to be a license to print money because they used to understand their customers, the problem wasn't just the clunky attempts to court a female audience with a sudden influx of pandering, poorly written girl bosses who could magically do anything and...
Yeah, the girl boss motif is exactly what I was complaining about earlier, actually. Nobody wants this shit.
Were always right about everything. Even women hated that shit because they were more than smart enough to see right through it. No, the bigger problem was the active sabotage, marginalization, destruction, and outright pussification of the male characters to make way for them. I've been over this kind of thing a million times before, so I'm not going to bore you with all the examples like Han, Luke, Indiana Jones, Thor, Kylo Ren.
I kind of forgot this happened with Indiana Jones, I'm gonna be honest with you. But then again, I've never actually seen Indiana Jones, just watched videos talking about the franchise. So that one in particular, I can't weigh in on.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, Nick Fury, and about 100 others I could name. The list of cultural assassinations is frankly mind-boggling at this point. The point, though, is that instead of...
The cultural assassinations, like they did with Assassin's Creed Shadows. And you wonder why we oppose the woke cult as heavily as we do?
Becoming more accessible.
Honestly, Noah, you're backing the wrong horse.
To women, these franchises instead became increasingly hostile towards men, especially young and impressionable men who could really use some positive role models to aspire to. Instead, they found themselves getting lectured, berated, and disrespected by a studio that seemed to actively hate them. And that's the funny thing about young men, you see. They can, and often do, put up with a lot of shit in their daily lives, but the one thing they won't put up with is disrespect.
I've seen this countless times, even. Hell, I've had a run-in with that on Twitter. And frankly, I wasn't gonna put up with that either.
Especially from a fucking company that wants them to part with their hard-earned money for their privilege. Add all these factors together and you get a conclusion so simple and obvious that I can't believe I'm even having to say it, but here we are. When you decide to treat half your audience as the enemy, that's exactly what you turn them into. You really do get what you fucking deserve, and in this case, Disney deserves to lose half their audience because they gave them absolutely no reason to stick around. But you know...
And unless you actually do... Why should they spend their hard-earned... That's actually a good point. Why the fuck should we put up with spending our hard-earned money just to be told we're a shit just because of our gender? There's honestly nothing, even a half-assed explanation as to why we should put up with all that.
You know what? Rather than signing off with some smarmy little fuck you, I want to pull something positive out of this situation, because it seems like even Disney are beginning to acknowledge how badly they've done wrong. Yeah, the admission's only been forced grudgingly out of them by sheer financial necessity, but it's something at least. And never let it be said that the drinker doesn't offer a helping hand to those in need. So if I could offer a few pieces of advice, speaking as someone of the male persuasion here, I'd say they have to come to terms with a few realities about their situation. The first reality is that not everything you make can appeal to everyone, and nor should you try. Movies like Barbie and Top Gun Maverick are proof that when you target a specific audience and give them exactly what they want without trying to dilute it down in the hopes of appealing to an even bigger market, you can and will make an absolute fortune.
That's pretty solid advice. If you're going to be putting out entertainment, you have to know your audience. If you try to pander to everybody, you ultimately end up pleasing nobody in the end. That's what companies used to abide by. I don't know why they dropped that. It's just flat out impossible. Flat out impossible to please everybody. So stop trying. Also, stop trying to pander to the modern audience. They're not gonna buy your shit, no matter what you do, so just stop.
Second reality is that any project revolving around adventure, science fiction, action, or technology, like say, I don't know, Star Wars and Marvel, is probably gonna skew male. I don't know what to tell you, man, but men and women tend to be interested in different things, and no amount of social conditioning or deconstruction is ever gonna change that. And if they're your two biggest franchises that you probably want to resurrect and get profitable again, then you're gonna have to accept that your primary demographic is men, and cater the content accordingly. The third reality is that you need to bring back masculine heroes if you want to get a male audience back.
Doing away with masculine heroes is the biggest slap in the face and a punch in the gut. Especially as someone who used to look up to these heroes and enjoy the content, basically. Enjoy the different franchises. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I loved Teen Titans. But then again, they also understood their audience and had some comedic moments, especially with Raven. The boys were masculine and the girls were feminine. Not exactly how it should be.
And I'm not talking about the safe, feminized, corporate-approved Pedro Pascal brand of masculinity that's basically just a woman with a moustache, but the actual male archetype of masculinity that's been practically outlawed in modern media. Men who are smart, capable, assertive, confident, complex, and maybe even a bit dangerous, who don't...
Like how James Bond was supposed to be. I mean, fuck, if you look at M briefing for the mission Damn, mission 1-1. She makes mention of the fact that there is no casinos or women, so that even he can focus on this mission. That's James Bond! By the way. That's the Bond that we need back.
Don't resort to verbal diarrhea or fold like a house of cards the moment a woman challenges them on something. Those are the kinds of characters that men have been drawn to for decades, and guess what? They still are. And no amount of guilt tripping or toxic masculinity bullshit is ever going to change that. The fourth and final reality is that everyone, men and women both, are fucking sick of girl bosses. They are, without a doubt...
That's exactly what I was saying. That's what I was saying, like, maybe, 20 minutes ago? Or something like that? I said that myself, directly, that we don't want any of this girl boss shit.
One of the most obnoxious products of modern culture. They've ruined practically everything they've been crowbarred into, and they have to go. That doesn't mean for 1 second that you can't have intelligent, complex, capable, and well-written female characters that push and rival their male counterparts. In fact, you absolutely should. But the days of one-sided contests where women always have to win to put men in their place, or invincible power fantasies that are either the writer's revenge fanfiction or walking inferiority complexes are well and truly completely over. Women don't relate to them, and men, particularly young men that have been force-fed a diet of this crap for most of their lives, are actively repulsed by anything that has them in it. Now, all of this stuff probably seems completely obvious and common sense to you, but fuck me, it feels like common sense is in short supply in Hollywood.
Extremely short supply, and common sense just isn't very common. That's the most depressing part about all this.
With these days. But I think the big takeaway from all of this is that men as a demographic are not all that difficult to please. Treat them with a bit of respect, give them the things that they enjoy, and you'll be surprised how quickly they come around. On the other hand, ignore and attack them, and well, I think we've seen where that road leads.
This is where that road leads.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
It's really not that difficult. Give us what we want, and we will turn up. But keep ignoring the male demographic, and you are going down the shitter. No ifs, ands, or buts. For now, let's get on with the game. Oops, did I say the game? I meant Pokemon Home.
For me,
Oh, for fuck's sake! I was complaining about bots earlier, and a bot just got banned. Thank you, Wisebot. But why am I going to Pokemon Home? You'll see in just a moment. Yeah. I had to put these guys in Pokemon Home. Now, why was this necessary? I chose the wrong game. Oops. Oh well. Not that big a deal. Yes, I want to continue with Pokemon Scarlet. Pokemon Scarlet. Pokemon Scars, let's be honest. We're going to move those here. I also have Combee, I nicknamed Beast, because bad pun, and Scatterbrain. Now, Ramses Death is my starter. But that gave Nemora the water type. So, what do I do in this? We're gonna start the game now, for real. In a second, I gotta turn off my AC for a moment. It's starting to get a little chilly. Okay. What did that force me to do? Give it a moment. Give it a moment. Yeah, it forced me to do the game again, only having the water type this time around, which I nicknamed Quacky. But I won't be left with any Pokemon to battle if I do that. So I had to catch a throwaway Pokemon just to be able to do this. And erase my save file and start all over. Let me get Dr. Disaster in. Let me get Hirahei in. Chester Bell, Chibi Reviews, Ruined Leon. Number 47. No, no, no. There's Scatterbrain and there's Beast. Actually, no. Get that right is. Because I obtained Quacky and then Beast and then Scatterbrain. I may actually put Quacky to use eventually, question mark. Until then, this is how things are going. Yeah, I had to start the game over just to get Quacky, which gave Nemora the fire type. It was a wrong I had to right. And frankly, I shouldn't have to do that just to have this happen. And yes, it was just as much, if not more, of a slog the second time around. But at least I was able to right one wrong with the rival. Now let me see where I want to travel to, actually. Victory Road, You're bug type. Let me see which one's actually the closest to me. Looks like they're both equal distance. Yeah, they're both of equal distance. I guess either way is not particularly great in terms of typing. Then again, Dr. Disaster would do good against both of them. The dentishly dank Dr. Disaster. Okay. That was weird. He wasn't even there for a second. Oh, right. I've gotten the tutorial again. Well, now time like the present to start with the gyms, I guess. I guess I might as well show a little bit of a difference. I did find me a, did grab a Pecha Berry and the rare candy. I kept the, Miracle Seed. I'm gonna give that to Rev. And I guess for now, I'm gonna give the charcoal to, Dr. Disaster. It's not gonna do anything now, but it's gonna have some great, it's gonna have some great fire type moves later on. Hacking is real simple. Okay, yeah, whatever, dude. Records are starting to look lame, I'm gonna be real. Lee still goes down in one blast because that Pokemon sucks. Okay, that's interesting. There are no third or fourth rules. Climbing mountains means taking on some slopes. I'm sure even a kiddo like you can make it up the hill. As the one leading to Masagosa if you try. Takes a lot more strength than you realize. I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm hungry, I'm gonna munch! Oh god, that sucks. Oh, thank god, I was actually counting on that. Well, praying for it anyways. Not necessarily counting on it, but praying for it. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, whoop-de-doo and la-de-da, a Swift TM. Yeah, so excited. This is the problem I have with making every wild Pokemon a field encounter. Even use a... I don't have a repel, but even still using one, you get into an encounter. That's meant to prevent it altogether. Yeah, sorry, but that's not Whooper. That is not Whooper. Whooper is a water type. Purely a water type. Oh, not pure water type, water ground, but still. I really just need to blow on it, and that's it. I really should have cut it, actually, just so I can give it a... so I can give it a nickname, I guess. Maybe if I jump from here, okay, I got it. Seriously, I jumped! Gee, thanks.
Wizbit said,
人影
new follow.
Ballbright Albright,
Red
welcome.
Heart
Thank you for
Ballbright
joining the
underscore
broadcast. How's it going,
Albright
buddy?
Red Heart. Welcome. 286
And thank you for the
followers.
follow. Welcome to
Plus
the Miiverse Squadron. Hope by going to this island I didn't screw myself.
Fallbright underscore Albright said you must be entertaining even when there is no one watching because you'll be uploading your stream to YouTube, right?
Well, I don't put all my eggs in one basket. I thought I had. There we go. Plus, I don't believe in botting. Never have. I mean, hell, I had to ban a ton of people who tried to get me to get into botting. I say people, but let's be honest, they were bots.
Fallbright underscore Albright said right. Well, can you increase the bitrate? Your stream's quality drops when there is too much movement on screen.
Oh, that's... I can see about maybe lowering the bitrate, but I'll have to cut the stream for a moment if I'm to do that. Yeah, I will go and do that. I'll stop the stream temporarily, but I will